Hi everyone, it is December 22nd.
And this is Pure Nebraska.
We are glad to have you here for another edition of Pure Nebraska. I'm John Vanderford.
And I'm Taryn Vanderford. And on the program, we hope to highlight the state's #1 industry. Of course, that's agriculture. We also hope to celebrate the state, show you great places to visit, and talk to some of the people who make our state so unique.
That's right, and we're looking out through the lens of Skyview here in Lincoln, and a real cool morning this morning. Maybe you could even say cold. There was frost on the ground this morning, although when the sun came up this morning, it was really a beautiful sunrise. And then you had the beautiful colors in the sky, and then you had the frost on the ground. It was kind of nice.
Did you take a picture of it?
I didn't. I just looked.
I just looked. I heard you in the kitchen, like being awe-inspired, but I didn't know if you took a picture.
I didn't want to take the time to take a picture. I just wanted to take a picture with my mind.
Take it in.
That's right.
But then, on the other side, when we were driving into work, a lot of accidents today.
That's true, yeah.
So I don't know if the roads are a little slick.
Probably maybe due to some of the frost or maybe slick roads. Brad is in the Weather Center. And Brad, how's it going this morning?
That's right. So I just want to say, when Taryn said that she heard you, is what I'm trying to say.
I was in the other room.
So you were actually verbally going, ooh.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did. I went, wow, that's a beautiful scene.
Yes.
Something like that.
But you maybe were a little selfish. You kind of wanted to keep it to yourself there. You didn't really want to take a picture and share it.
No, he didn't say, come look, everyone.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Nothing like that.
It was just for me.
Sometimes you have to just think of yourself, John. Take care of yourself.
That's true.
Fine. But on a more serious note, yes, we did have a heavy frost in the Lincoln area over eastern sections of the state, and I think, the roads, for the most part, at least that I drove on, were pretty good, but I really think it was the bridges and the overpasses and the elevated areas that probably had the slick conditions, and so we did have those areas that were slippery, and probably still a little bit slippery until we see our temperature climb above freezing here in Lincoln. Still may be slippery for the next hour or so.
Okay, well, that's good to know. We'll keep that in mind.
You bet.
We'll check in with you in a bit.
Thanks, Brad. Well, we begin today with a look back at the 2015 Nebraska Soybean Day and Machinery Expo held at the Saunders County Fairgrounds in Oahu.
The annual event is always a chance for producers to learn about some of the latest technology in the world of soybeans, and it's also a chance for producers to continue planning for next year's growing season. Pure Nebraska's Christina Hebner joins us now with more on the Soybean Day and what farmers are talking about.
John and Taryn, last week at the Soybean Day and Machinery Expo, farmers had a lot to take in with all the new advancements in technology and equipment coming out. One of the main reasons producers were there was to hear how they will be economically affected in the upcoming year.
It's going to be one of those years we're going to have to tighten our belts and ride it out.
Producers are seeing a lot of issues coming their way in the new year.
There's a concern about the recent increase in interest rates and how that might affect local economies and the agriculture world. There's concern about property taxes. That question arises often and how it affects their bottom line.
With high taxes, producers could face a tough time.
Taxes are the main issue in my view. Because it's driving a lot of expenses with your land values. People aren't going to have any extra income because they're not going to generate any.
Dr. David Cole from Virginia Tech spoke to producers about how they can better manage their finances.
Number one, they've got to reduce their family living costs. Number two, they're probably going to have to renegotiate out their cash rents. And then number three, we're starting to see a reduction in machinery and equipment investments.
Many producers are also looking at other forms of revenue.
Outside investments, we've also done, we're getting into more hay and forage, and so it's still ag-related, but we're diversifying.
By diversifying their farms, some producers are hoping it will keep the younger generations interested in the farming industry.
Because I have a son that will be back on the farm in a year, and that's another reason we're diversifying into specialty, and that's what he wants to do with his niche, is not just farm the way everybody's done it. We want new ways of looking at farming.
Producers say the next few years are going to be a learning experience, but in the long run, Dr. Cole says they can look forward to a bright future.
When you look at the long term, by the year 2050, we're going to need 70% more food, fiber, and fuel in the world, and we're only going to use 70% of the resources. So that, combined with our young producers and with the technology and the innovation that's coming along, there's a bright future for agriculture, and we're going through this dipsy-do.
The producers tell me they have a lot to plan before planting season starts. They need to get their equipment ready and their financial planning started.
All right, thank you, Christina. Now, the Soybean Day is sponsored by Nebraska Extension and UNL's Institute of Agriculture and Natural Resources, the Nebraska Soybean Board, Saunders County Soybean Growers Organization, and private industry.
Well, we are moving on now to a story that is much more somber than many we do here on the program.
But it's also a story that we thought might be helpful to some during the holiday season. We recently learned about an organization called Touching Hearts. It helps grieving moms cope with the loss of a child. Of course, that can be heartbreaking during the holidays. Pure Nebraska's Brad Anderson has more on this unique group that recently met in Brewster.
While on a trip through central Nebraska, we stopped at Uncle Buck's Lodge in Brewster. And while we were there, we learned about a group called the Touching Hearts Ministry.
Well, Touching Hearts Ministry is a ministry for mothers who have lost children to death. And it was formed in 2001 is when we had our first overnight retreat for moms.
On this day, the group gathered for a Christmas luncheon at Uncle Buck's. Organization founder Kathy Keller says the group began after her own personal tragedy.
It came out of our own son's death. He was killed in a plane crash in 1993. And through my own sorrow and heartache, I just sought out the Lord and His Word, and He led me to a place that I knew healing was possible from a terrible tragedy like that. Jesus did say that He came to heal the brokenhearted, and that we can claim that promise. And so that's what Touching Hearts Ministry is based on, is that promise.
Kathy says 97 women have sought healing from grief through overnight retreats planned by the Touching Hearts Ministry. So far, the group is coming up on its 20th overnight retreat to be held in rural Nebraska. Organizers try to keep the group small, although the reach of the program continues to grow. Some mothers have now come from other states like Kansas and Colorado.
And we had the opportunity last September that a couple of us went and put on a Touching Hearts retreat in Tennessee. So now we've touched lives for Touching Hearts in Kentucky and Tennessee and Mississippi.
Kathy says the group is mostly for moms.
Quite often I get asked the question, why don't you do this for fathers? And we actually did try one time to do one for fathers, but no fathers came. The wives always say this. They say, well, I think my husband would like something like this, but when we contacted them, it's like they were too busy or they couldn't get away. But men do grieve much differently than women, and to be in a group with that kind of emotion just, I don't think, appeals to most men. It does some, but not enough.
And while the program seeks to touch more lives, the goal remains the same, and that is to provide a comfort to the brokenhearted.
And the bonds that grieving mothers and grieving parents, I think, make with each other are unique to any other kind of relationships that you have. Because even though we all deal with grief differently, and each situation is different in what we have lost, there's just something knowing that that person has walked down that path too.
Again, if you would like more information on the Touching Hearts Ministry, there's a website where you can find more information. The website is touchingheartsweb.com. You can find Kathy Keller through that, and you can get a phone number there. You can get registration forms and get involved with the Touching Hearts Ministry.
So needed, really.
Yeah. And a lot of those overnight retreats are happening at Uncle Buck's Lodge there in Brewster. I know, Brad, we stopped by there for lunch and then learned about this ministry, and it's, you know, it really is an important ministry.
That's right.
It's a topic that's hard to deal with,
yeah,
but it's definitely something people can use.
Well, you need that support group when you're going through something like that.
That's right, the support group. You know, we saw the ladies, they were laughing and stuff, not saying that they were over their pain, but maybe coming together and being able to talk and maybe have some good memories, especially around this time of year.
Yeah, I know Kathy was saying, you know, that one-on-one, you know, she told us that a group like that, they try to keep it a little bit small. Not to have like 50 or 100 people involved in maybe an overnight stay, but maybe just a small intimate group, and then you can have that one-on-one experience, which I think would help a lot.
And you know, she was telling us that you know, some people ask her, well, what about you know, fathers who've lost children, and she said that they tried something years ago, but fathers tend to grieve differently than women, so that's, you know, that's what they're not, you know, trying to not have them in screw. It didn't work out so well, I guess, is the way she said
I
it.
could see that too. Yeah.
Guys kind of keep it inside more. I think women want to talk about it.
I think that's right, yeah. But anyway, if you are interested, touchingheartsweb.com. And we thank Kathy Keller for that interview. Coming up, we're going to learn about a Christmas meal that is held annually at Fort Robinson State Historical Park near Crawford. Find out what it takes to put on this Christmas meal that seeks to be very authentic. Ralph Ball has the story a bit later in this week's Outdoor Report.
Did Ralph bring some with us? Bring some of that feast?
I don't know if he's got any
That'd be
leftover
hard to-
turkey or...
That'd be hard to transport.
I don't see him have a feast.
All right. Well, first, though, you're going to tell us if we're going to have a white Christmas, right?
That's right, I will.
Okay. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up after the break.
And welcome back to Pure Nebraska. Here on the program, as always, we like to put the focus on weather. Time to go out back for another look at the forecast. Taryn and Brad are outside the studio with more. How's it going, guys?
Well, you know, it's going pretty good. It's a little chilly out here. Still some frost on the ground. That south wind picking up a bit, and certainly can feel that this morning.
Yeah, if you didn't have the wind, like I always say, it wouldn't be too bad.
I know, and almost, at least recently, almost every morning, there's a wind to deal with out here.
And it's always us out here.
That's right.
John's always inside.
That's right. Maybe you guys can do like 1 week, you're inside, John's out here, switch off.
He never offers to do that.
I think I'm going to make an executive decision, and that's what we're going to do. So, John, you're out here next week.
But he's the executive. So do we just kind of like have an uprising?
We could do that, or I could just say that this is my segment, and I decide who's out here.
That's true. Okay, thanks, Fred.
All right.
I have a picture, though.
Okay,
I have
show
a
us.
picture, because we've been talking about a lot of frost in the area. This is very pretty. Of course, Nebraska through the lens. If you haven't gone there on Facebook, you should. A lot of great pictures on there. And this is thanks to Brooke Price. Pretty pictures just west of Norfolk. This was taken yesterday on Monday. Brooke says no snow, just some frost in Norfolk. Did you see those?
I did see that, and that's actually meteorologically called horror frost.
Okay, explain.
Well, it's basically the moisture in the air goes directly from a gas to ice. It collects on the, the trees, a lot of times, the wires.
Why is it horror?
That's just the name they gave it. It's not H-O-R-R-O-R.
Oh.
It's, let me see if I remember this right, H-O-A-R. Is that right, Taylor? He thinks so.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right, well, I'm cold. I'm out of here.
I've also heard it be called rime frost, or, something. Anyway, go ahead, go away.
Go to your forecast.
All right, yeah, you're cold because, you just leave. Hey, let's take a look at the snowfall so far this season. Lincoln, we've only had 2.6, and we're 4.5 inches below the average. North Platte's had 7.5 inches so far this season, just a little over 1.5 inches below average. Norfolk 10.4, above average 1.5 inches. Look at Valentine so far this season, 21.4 inches, and that's over 10 inches above average. So some parts of the state have been a little on the snowy side. Grand Island 5.7, 1.7 below average. Hastings almost 4.5. That's 3.2 inches below normal. And then we have Scotts Bluff, 15.2 inches, and that's actually above average by 1.7 inches. Let's check out the precipitation over the next 10 days. Again, a couple of systems we're watching. We're watching a system for tonight that could bring some rain and maybe even some light freezing rain to portions of south central and eastern sections of the state tonight and early tomorrow morning. Then we're looking for generally scattered precipitation for Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday, looking for scattered precipitation. Then maybe a stronger storm system next Monday could bring some rain to the area as well as some snow. And this takes us through the new year, January 1st, 2016. Maybe by the middle part of next week, it looks a little drier, but again, going to be unsettled for the next several days. Here's the snowfall outlook for the same 10-day period. You will notice between now and Christmas, not a lot going to happen. Some areas may see a bit of a dusting over central and western Nebraska, but not looking for, it's not a very good chance we're going to see a white Christmas this year, especially central and eastern sections of the state. And basically, we're going to be looking at that chance for snow over the weekend, maybe a little bit more in the way of snow for the Monday system over portions of northern and western Nebraska. But over the next 10 days, Lincoln area may be picking up 1 inch. And remember, that's a cumulative, not just one storm. 7-day outlook, again, 50 today, colder tomorrow with lower 40s with that chance for light freezing rain in the morning. Then Christmas Eve day, a slight chance for a snow shower in the morning, then partly cloudy, upper 30s. Christmas Day, scattered rain and snow showers, especially in the afternoon, and Christmas night with mid 40s for Christmas, around 40 for Saturday, and chances for snow showers for Sunday into Monday. So I think, again, the main weather word is unsettled, at least for right now, John. Not looking for a well-organized, widespread rain or snow event. Looks like scattered precipitation for the next 5 to 7 days.
Okay, thank you, Brad.
You bet.
Coming up, we are going to learn about an event that works to boost morale and promote a positive spirit at a Lincoln Care Center. We will learn about the first annual Christmas tree decorating contest at Holmes Lake Rehab and Care Center. It's all on the way here on Pure Nebraska. And welcome back to our Pure Nebraska final segment. If you've lived in Nebraska for a while, then you know the prefix numbers on our state license plates have meaning. The numbers can tell you what county the car is from.
And of course, Lincoln and Omaha really doesn't work anymore because they've changed that. But Lincoln used to be 2, and that was Lancaster County. And then Omaha, Douglas County was always number 1. So we thought it'd be kind of fun to play a game today again, right? To see where the plates are.
That's right. The Omaha and Lincoln plates are no more, but if you're outside of Omaha or Lincoln, your plate has a prefix number. So we thought we'd have a little more fun with the license plate trivia game.
He tried to
I
say
think you have something to say.
I was just going to say that you may not have a 1 or 2 on there, but when you don't have a number on there, you know that they're either from Lancaster or
that tips
Douglas.
That tips
but you just don't
off.
know which one.
Right.
Yeah. So,
anyway, that's all I had to say. Back to you.
Right. So we're going to play a little license plate trivia, and there's a little extra credit for knowing the county seat of the county as well.
What do we get?
Nothing other than
I like
just
bragging rights.
Fun.
Bragging rights.
Just some fun. Here is the first number we're going to try and figure out this morning. This is county 88. So what do you guys think is the county? And, again, what is the county seat?
McPherson.
Banner.
But I don't know.
Those are pretty good guesses. Let's go ahead and reveal the county now. And the county we're talking about, Loop.
Yes.
Loop. And
Some of the counties out west I have trouble with.
the county seat is a place we've been through a few times.
Taylor.
That's right.
Right?
That's right, Taylor.
Brad and I have
finally
stayed
saw
there
the,
at the Wildlife
courthouse.
Inn.
That's right.
We saw the courthouse,
Wildlife Inn.
the Lazy D
That's right.
restaurant.
Where we had breakfast and dinner.
But you gave that
So-
away earlier, right? You said Taylor.
Did I?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm confused.
All right, here's the next number we're going to try and figure out. This is county 92.
Another one out
Oh,
there.
man.
What is the county and the county seat of 92? Now, don't feel bad because I don't think I could get these either right off the bat.
Sherman.
No.
No.
I'm not going to guess even. I don't even know.
You don't even know? Okay, let's go ahead and reveal the county. The county we're talking about
Grant.
is
Grant.
And I didn't really, when I saw the word Grant, I thought Grant like as in Grant, the city of Grant, but that's not the county. Grant, the county is, the county seat in Grant is Hyannis.
Right.
Okay.
So you're right in the middle of the sandhills
That's
there.
kind of a panhandle.
Absolutely.
place, yeah.
And apparently, according to Wikipedia, it is the 4th least populous county in Nebraska.
Oh.
So
Thank you.
kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks for that extra trip.
Well, again, he likes being Bob Barker here today.
That's right.
So we are going to move on to our final prefix number today. This is 82.
How come you don't do like 12 or some ones
We'll get
around
into
here?
those as soon as I can get some pictures
Those
of
I know.
What's the county and county seat?
82, I'm going to say, hold on a second, it's coming, I'm going to say Greeley.
Kind of close, I think, sort of. But
Can you give us a hint,
Thanks.
like the area?
I didn't get a hint.
It's got to be out west. I'm not going to win.
I can't actually because I can't. Oh yeah, now I'll tell you this. It's a county that sometimes we don't know the correct pronunciation of exactly.
Oh, Kippaha.
Kippaha.
There you go.
Kiapaha.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
the
some
Kiapaha
people say
fans.
it's Kiapaha. Many pronounce it Kippaha. We get a
Right.
lot of phone calls about
way.
either way. And this summer, we're going to go up there and ask some people on the street in Springview, which is the county seat, what is
What do
the-
they say?
What is it?
What's their opinion?
That sounds
Is it Springview?
Springview is the county seat.
People probably think we're pretty bad, but I actually did used to know these.
Yeah, well, that's
It's
what we're
just-
doing this for, is for learning.
Remembering. Okay. All right.
Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for watching.